Welcome, welcome! Today we are looking at 7 tanks that you absolutely need to be playing in World of Tanks, with the Gods of Thunder update buffing 160 plus tanks in World of Tanks. There are some which outshine others. In fact, and that's just in the way of buffs. Then we're talking about just all the other tanks that didn't see buffs. I mean, there are a lot of tanks that are irrelevant right now, but we're not looking at those. Instead, we are looking at some pretty crazy buffs, some pretty crazy tanks right now. And starting at number 1 is the T57 Heavy. This tank had already seen a massive buff, getting, well, 420 alpha damage. Then with this last update, they buffed it to 440, and they gave it better gun handling and better terrain resistances, making it just a little bit more maneuverable. And in fact, it aims in faster than its interclip reload now, meaning you don't have to worry about needing to wait an extra half a second or an extra 1 second to aim your shots all the way or risk missing. This tank does it. It's insane, which is what they've done to it. It's absolutely the most powerful autoloading heavy tank in the game. In fact, potentially the most powerful autoloader in the game in general. It is slower. There's another autoloader on this list that could potentially be even better still. The only thing they did to hinder this tank with this buff is increase its overall reload by 1 second. That's it. Otherwise, the tank is better than it's ever been before. The T57 Heavy is just putting in shot after shot after shot and racking up damage real quick. The love is finally here. The K91, which has never been very good in World of Tanks console. It was introduced into this game nerfed. In fact, it was nerfed so badly that it had actually worse camouflage than all the other Russian mediums. They nerfed its gun handling. They nerfed its camouflage. They nerfed its DPM. Why did you do so much to this poor tank? I don't know. But finally, we don't have to worry about that. Finally, they buffed its camouflage. It has the most camouflage of all the tier 10 Russian mediums. It's about time. And the turret now rotates not all the way, but further to the back than it's ever done before, which is oh so helpful for the tank, as that is something that was much needed. And then the DPM has also finally been pushed up just a touch. It is not best in class DPM, but it is best in Russian class camouflage, and that is what this tank needed. The 430U used to have the best camouflage among all the Russian heavies. Medium tanks. It had more camouflage than the T62A, than the 140, and even the 430. Why was that? I don't know, but finally the K91 gets to shine and is now the best camouflaged medium tank at tier 10 among the Russian mediums. Finally, it's what this tank has needed. The tank feels great, especially on big open maps like this one here, where you're able to sneak around even with 200 health left and pull off nice 6,000 damage games. A tank destroyer on the list, the Strv 103B has received, well, multiple buffs. I don't know what the tank was doing right then and there as we were trying to turn our tank and it was spinning the opposite direction from which way we were looking. But that happens, I guess, apparently. But that aside, what did they do to this tank? Well, they increased the alpha damage from 390 up to 420 and did not touch the reload. They've also buffed its gun handling in siege mode, at least its dispersion after firing, and they made it so that you go into and out of siege mode in just half of a second. That's it. You get up and you go and you have a good game. That's how you play this tank now. And like, you can play on the front line, you can play in back line, you can fall back, you can push up. You don't have to worry so much anymore. It's absolutely crazy just what this tank can do now. And I'm really liking it. It's going to be an almost impossible tank to 3-mark these days, simply because everyone's going to be doing so well in it. It is finally a tank destroyer at tier 10 that will have a positive impact in your games, which previously it did not. If you played this tank, you put your team at a severe disadvantage because of your alpha damage, because you sat in the back, because you couldn't play like a heavy. Meanwhile, other tank destroyers, even the ones without armor, could play more like mediums and heavy tanks, simply because of the way the tank had worked, because it had a turret, because you didn't have siege mode, because you could trade effectively. This tank couldn't trade and it couldn't brawl. Now it kind of can, and now its DPM is so good that even the tortoise gets close to blushing. Doesn't quite blush. but it's close there. And you'll get to see here just what this DPM can do when you find yourself in a position to shoot people who are tracked in front of you. Hello, Mr. Object. We've put 3 shells into him in rapid succession, and we've got another shell which we would have killed him here if not for the big-headed American in front of us. The British 105s did not avoid this alpha buff. In fact, the Centurion Action 10 did not just receive an alpha buff, it also received a DPM boost and gun handling. It's now got 0.3 base accuracy, meaning you can get this thing down real low. We currently have it down to 0.24 accuracy. Leopard 1, get out of the way. We have a new king in the house because you also have DPM to boot. Over 4,000 damage per minute in the Centurion Action 10. Not as much as the M48 patent, but this thing has mobility to boot. It's got an accurate gun to boot. It's insane just how good the Centurion Action 10 is right now. And what makes it even better is when you compare it to the poor FV215B. Previously, my favorite tank of all time in this game, which it no longer is. It has dropped significantly because when it got the alpha buff, it did not get anything else. In fact, its DPM dropped. It's a poo-poo tank now with its buff. Somehow they buffed it to be worse than it was before. And the Action X has 100 more hit points than it had before, making it even better at brawling than it's ever been. Better gun handling, better accuracy, better DPM, better alpha damage, better health, so better survivability. What doesn't this tank have is the question I'm asking, because the Action X can do it all. 10 degrees of gun depression on top of it. It's a crazy good tank, and one that, if you have not played in a while, you should be pulling out. We just featured it, where we're talking about the easiest tanks to play in World of Tanks, and this was one of them. It's even easier now. It's so easy, guys. Just pull it out, try it, see what you think, and I think it's gonna genuinely surprise you with just how good it is, to the point where you can have very fast games like this one, where we're very quickly racking up damage and doing over 7,000 damage at the end of this battle, which will probably have to feature on its own coming up soon. In fact, a lot of these tanks and these games that you're going to see in the background here, we're probably going to feature by themselves because they're absolutely crazy games in these crazy tanks. If you've been paying any attention, then you probably knew that the FV215B was going to make an appearance in this video. A lot of people don't play this tank, but now is the time. Pull it out and just see what it can do. The FV215B has received so much love recently. It's got side armor buff, it's got a gun handling buff, which it didn't need, it's got a DPM buff, again, which it didn't need, and now it's got an alpha damage buff. Oh, and then there's also a secret buff that you might not have noticed, and that's the engine does not get set on fire as much anymore. There's a 10% chance of internal fire from a hit to the engine instead of the 20% it used to be. And now just a little bit of info on how that works is your engine does not need to be damaged for you to get set on fire. Like the fuel tank. The fuel tank needs to be destroyed for you to get set on fire. That's still a thing. But the engine fires perform differently than anything else in this game. For instance, if you get hit in the ammo rack, you might not get ammo racked unless the game decides it rolls. It's a 1 in 4 chance, and then it's like, okay, it's been damaged, and it gets damaged. The engine fires. Your engine does not need to get damaged. Every time a shell passes through where the engine is supposed to be, 1 in 5 times, you're getting set on fire in the FV215B. Now it's 1 in 10 times. And on top of that, it's also rolling to see if the engine is damaged. So it's a double whammy for the FV215B. Now, it'll still get set on fire. It's half the time. But that decrease is huge. It's 50%. 50% less you're getting set on fire. Minus fuel tank fires. Fix your fuel tanks, guys. Doesn't matter what tank you're in. If your fuel tank is hit, fix it again. Trust me, you're going to survive a lot longer in your tanks. But it 440 alpha on this 120, the same treatment the 57 Heavy got, makes it an absolutely crazy machine. Being able to do crazy things. Maintaining over 5,000 damage a game in this tank is what I've been able to do since they've buffed it. It's absolutely crazy. I don't have another tier 10 that does it. It's my best tank in the game at the moment, and that's because of the armor, it's because of the gun, it's because of the health, it's because of the DPM. Holy moly, Chieftain, stand aside. The FV215B is here, and it's having some fun showing you just who's boss. Number 6. I made a bit of a mistake on a feature with this tank the other day where we pulled it out and played it. I said it had the worst DPM among the 105s minus the E50M. I was mistaken. My crew was incomplete and did not have rapid loading. I threw on rapid loading, and yep, this tank has more DPM than any of the other 105s at tier 10. Better than even the patent now, this rate of fire. It's absolutely crazy. Just look how quickly we're loading our gun. It's 5.5 seconds with food activated. We have over 4,200 DPM. And now with the siege mode being manual, you can access your gun depression whenever you want. It's so much nicer than how it used to be. It's not as clunky, and it just overall feels nice. And even though I was like, oh, I don't really see this tank being that special, is what I said when I played it, I was consistently doing 5,000 damage. Yet again, it's kind of an easy tank to do damage now. It just does it, and it feels nice doing it. It feels playable, and I think a lot of people are going to very much enjoy the playstyle of the new STB1, basically being the king of DPM among the medium 105s yet again, and when you use it properly, the king of bridge lines, the king of gun depression with 14 degrees over the front when you are using your hydraulic suspension. The STB1 in a fantastic place, exactly where it should be. And last but not least is the AMX Foch B, aka the Foch 155 with the 120mm gun. Its alpha got buffed to 440. Its reload got nerfed, I believe, by 4 seconds, but who cares when your alpha has been buffed this much? And there's not much more to talk about, therefore just watch this montage in the background, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys all later. Enjoy!